today. So let's get into it. Let's break down the MACD in less than 5 minutes if possible. Let's see if we can do it. So you go to settings and you type in MACD. And especially if you're on Trade Locker, this will work perfectly for you. All right. So you go to MACD. And when we pull up the MACD, we're usually going to see it look like this. It's going to look kind of weird. And it's cool. A lot of people can work with this. But me, I like working with the best of the best. All right. So we're going to come right here to the logarithmic. Yep. And we're going to press that. But listen, when you come on the MACD, remember, if it looks like this, you come all the way down to the right and press this L right here in the corner. All right. So now we're going to pull it back down. Matter of fact, I'll leave it open. So the MACD, this is called the histogram. We have green and white, red and white. What does this mean? It took me a long time to figure this out, but I'm going to teach you guys this in 4 minutes. The green on the MACD represents buyer momentum. The white on the MACD represents seller momentum. So if you notice, you'll see green. Then when the white pops up, you'll see a little bearish vibe. You notice that? Now when we see green, we get the bullish vibe. But when we see red, we get the bearish vibe. You know why? Because that is sellers stepping in. Simple. Like, this is one of the most easiest indicators that can help you understand price action. So we look at the red right here. We have sellers, and the white represents buyer momentum stepping in. We have sellers again. We have buyer momentum, sellers, and we have buyer momentum pushing up slowly into a bullish vibe. So we have two lines on the MACD. Whenever you see these two lines mismatching the histogram, and I'll give you an example of what mismatching on the histogram. This is mismatching right here. We want to see these two lines for when we know a trend is trending and it's a profitable trend. We want to see these two lines matching on the same side. Now, we look what happens when it's on the same side, because this is a consolidation. So just remember this. If you don't know you're in a consolidation, look in the MACD. If these lines are not matching, you are surely in a consolidation. All right? It took me a lot of blown accounts, a lot of blown props, a lot of blown lives to figure this out. So take advantage of this information. And if you're still here watching the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, man. I promise I'm going to bring you more content. I promise you. I promise you I will. And get in the comment section and let me know, have I ever helped you in your trading journey? Okay? Let's at least work the algorithm. Let's do something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing else from y'all. So check this out, right? Let's get back to it. Now, you want to know, well, how do I know how to make a great entry based on this MACD? How do I know when to make a great entry? Let me move this real quick. Let me remove this. We don't need the volume right now. We're not talking about volume. So how do you know you made a great entry based on, let me turn my phone off real quick because I don't need no distractions right now. I'm trying to focus, man. All right, let me turn my phone off. Okay. How do you know when to make a great entry? Now, when you see the MACD mismatching like this, you have to be patient. When you're looking at a red panel on the histogram, this is a seller panel. Look at this as a buyer panel, and this is a seller panel. And you see white. You want to wait till it flips. You don't really want to get in a sale when there's a lot of buyer momentum stepping in, and that's what the white represents on each one. White on each part of this MACD represents the opposite of the color stepping in. So if this is buyer, if you look at green as buyers, white represents sellers stepping in. All right. So the best time for you to get in a trade like this would have been at a proper crossover. So let's just say right here. Let's say if you would have gotten right. Let's say around this area right here. We look at this one right here, this area right here. We have these two lines crossing up. I would have probably gotten in. As soon as I seen these two lines creasing up, look at this move right here. Look at this great move you would have caught. Look at this great move. That's great money. That is a $1,000 day right there. And trust me, I know from experience. This is a $1,000 day. You could go about your business, do what else you want to do with your life. You get what I'm saying? Come back tomorrow. Now, you'll be wondering, like, man, how would I know? Like, how do I know when to get out based off the MACD? Getting out is really based off your discipline level and how you treat trading and what you want from this. You have to get out when you feel you need to get out. You have to get out when you feel you have enough. I would say set a limit of what you want for the day prior to trading, and that be your goal. Now, let me see what else I can show you on the MACD real quick, because I'm trying to do this in less than 5 minutes. Okay, let me see what else I got. Well, you guys know this is the consolidation phase right here. Green represents white. Green represents buyers. White represents sellers stepping in. Red represents sellers. The white represents buyers stepping in. Okay, you never want to really take a trade when the MACD is mismatching. This was a slight mismatch right here. This is a major mismatch right here. All right. So look at this mismatch. Let's see what happens on a seller vibe if you catch a nice sell. Let's just say you would have got in the MACD right here, this area. Let's just go up and see what happened. So let's just say if you would have caught the MACD, oh my gosh, look at this. Lord have mercy. If you would have caught the sale right here, short, right when this crossed down into this histogram being red, and you always want to catch it right when it crosses, when both lines cross, not one line, both lines. Look at this sale you could have caught. A great short. This is $1,000 day. You see what I'm saying? Now let me just show you guys why you don't want to do it when there's one line crossing. Look at this right here. One line went up, and look what happened. You got tricked, and it fell right back down. So this is the MACD explained, not less than 5 minutes, because we're at 5 minutes and 44 seconds. But this is one of the easiest, most simplest indicators to understand. What I may do right now, I may go into the stochastic. Let me just go into one of the stochastics for you. Let me just go into one of the stochastics for you. We're going to add the stochastic RSI, because I want to make this video substantial and meaningful for you. The stochastic RSI. Now this RSI, if you want to make great entries and great exits, man, this is one of the most simplest indicators you can ever run across on a trading platform. All right, let me break this down to you real quick. This is going to be very simple. Let me do this. So when you see, let me use this real quick. Let me use one of these real quick. Put that right there. I'll get another one. Make this green. We'll put this right here. All right. And that's crazy. I didn't even click green. It's like my computer heard me. It just automatically made it green. That's crazy. I just peeped that. Now listen, right? This is what we're going to do. So now we have a green one. Now, when this stochastic, when these two lines enter back, now I like calling this outer space. Let me just write that on here because I want to bring you guys into my world of understanding so you guys can understand it as simple as I understand it. All right? Outer space. Hold on. Space. This is called outer space. Now, I call this outer space for a reason. I'm about to break this down to you. Let me just finish typing this out. And this isn't pre-planned. I didn't even plan on breaking out the stochastics because I don't really like making it too easy for y'all. I like for y'all to really do y'all own research and utilize the information I gave you prior, you know, and then come back to it and break it down a little bit later. But I'm going to give you guys a whole package today, man, on entries. All right, it's going to be a whole package today. Now, we have outer space. I'm going to tell you why I call it that song. I'm going to call this Earth. I promise you're not going to hear nobody else break it down like this. This is something I came up with a while back. Okay, listen, right? So we have outer space. So now when it's outer space, when you have the stochastics outer space, these stochastic lines, when they're out of space, you don't really want to take no trade. You want to take a trade when these two lines are doing something like this, when they're coming back into Earth. All right? Look at this blue part, it's just Earth. This is outer space. You don't want to do nothing out of space. You want to wait till it comes back to Earth. That's when it catches the most momentum. You're going to catch a great entry. Now let's look at all these great entries we could have made. We could have made a great entry right here. We could have made a great entry right here when it curled back up right here. And these are great buys. Look at all these great buys we had. A great buy right here. And a great buy right here. Now, we could have made a great sell right here. We could have made a great sell right here. And I know this works because I've taught multiple people this strategy right here. And I don't like saying strategy. Y'all know that's one of the words I do not like saying. Because I feel like it limits our mind and isolates our creativity when it comes to finding out other ways on how to trade the market. But a way of understanding price action. All right? So we have another great sell right here. Another great sell right here. Like, come on, look at all these great sales we have just based off of this indication. So let me delete these real quick. So let me delete these. So when we have the stochastic lines going out of space, you want to chill because that is an area where they're either overvalued or undervalued. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's still an RSI. It's just a stochastic RSI. So it's basically showing you the movements. And this movement matches up perfectly with price action. All right? So remember, this part is out of space and the blue part is Earth. And this is outer space. You don't want to take trades out of space. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take no trades. You want to take a trade right when it enters back into Earth. Because when you catch this upset, this right here, this is a good buy. Look how much money you could have got, man. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get out of this real quick. And we're going to look at this chart and see how this stochastic matches up. And how to match it, how to line up with the chart. Now, let's just say you're right here, right? We see there's a major liquidity sweep. When you see these wicks right here, these are the signs of a liquidity sweep. Banks stepped in, institutions stepped in and pushed price back up. So this means basically all the people that were buying, that had their stop losses right here, the banks knocked all that out. And the banks have to knock out the stop losses to place their orders without causing slippage in the market. Think about it like this, right? Imagine you're going down the street, you're driving down the street, and you're trying to pour water in a cup, right? That's the slippage. You're driving and you're trying to pour water in the cup. That's the type of slippage it will cause if they just pushed $1 million, $20-30 million inside the market. It's going to cause major slippage. But imagine if you stop the car and pour the water in the cup. It'll be way smoother, no slippage, no problems. That's like them knocking out all your orders first. That's why they have to do it. They have to slow down. And it's like them basically slowing down and evenly and in a balanced way placing their order with balance. They got to knock out all your orders, knock out all your stop losses, and then they can place their order right on top of it and just slip it in real quick. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, once you understand these things, you will know where to put your stop loss. Like, let's say if I was taking a buy. Let's say if I was right here and I'm taking a buy. I honestly will put my stop loss either right here, in this area right here. Let me see something. Let me get a little red line. So a lot of you guys ask me, where do I put my stop loss at, man? And I want to help y'all with this. My stop loss will either be right here, or it's going to be right here, in this area right here, if I'm taking a buy. You get what I'm saying? So now let's look at the stochastic. You get what I'm saying? But I just want to break that down to y'all so y'all can understand where I'm putting my stop loss. I like putting my stop losses below the wicks if I'm taking a buy. If I'm taking a sell, let's say I was taking a sell. Let's just say none of this happened right here and I was taking a sell. My stop loss is going to be above this wick where I know price was pushed down at, where price was rejected multiple times. But then again, it may be a bad trade because look, it came and knocked my wick out, but I wouldn't have took that trade. Me personally, I wouldn't have took it. I'm just telling you where I would have took it. If I didn't see all of this here and I thought it was going to be a great sell and I was getting seller vibes from price action, I'm putting my stop loss above the wick, or on a buy, I'm putting it below the wicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like putting my money and my stop loss where I know banks are defending, because who is gonna break the bank for real? Like, who is gonna push it past where the banks got their orders at? And especially if you can. But thing is this, putting your stop loss so far can put you at a negative 1,500, negative 2,000-3,000 if you're trying to make 2,000-3,000 off that one play. So sometimes we gotta lower our lot sizes so we can make more over time and we can last longer. A lot of times we raise our lot sizes and we want to make 10,000, 5,000, 1,000 in one play, and then we lose that 1,000 because that wasn't the play we were going to make it on. That was the play we was going to lose. You get what I'm saying? So let me see what else I can break down to y'all. Oh yeah, let me get back to the stochastics. Let me show y'all how the stochastics line up with the chart. And I'm a little turned up today. I haven't traded all day today. I just been relaxing, getting my mind together, trying to get my psyche together, trying to get my my thought process together. Because I feel like next week I'm about to go crazy ham. I'm about to go crazy in this market. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just watching price action right now, seeing what happened this week, just seeing what happened. And tomorrow I might get back in the market. You get what I'm saying? Next week I'm going crazy, but I'm just watching the market, doing my research, reading, studying. I feel like a lot of y'all need to do the same thing. Why don't you take a screenshot of all your trades on the demo, all your prop trades, and just put it on ChatGPT or Gemini and ask it, what have I been doing wrong? We have to learn to utilize this AI intelligence, man. Like, we have access to superhumans and we're not asking it the correct questions. We want to ask, how do I make money trading? Instead of asking, how do I make a great entry when I'm trading? Instead of asking, how do I set my stop loss? You know what I'm saying? Instead of asking, tell me 100 different things psychologically that can help me become a better trader. We have to utilize this information. You're capable. It's like you have a genie in a bottle that just can't grant you nothing physical, but it can answer any question. You have multiple options and multiple opportunities to rub this bottle and get an answer. But we're not utilizing it. You know what I'm saying? We just want to know how to make money. And of course, we're not taking trades because we don't want to make money. But we have to really get in depth with this. So we get in depth with this. You see what I'm saying? So look at the stochastic right here. Look at the stochastic. So the stochastic, based off, I really feel like I could trade with the MACD and stochastic alone because I understand it in depth. But let's just take a look at the stochastic real quick. Look at the stochastic right here. So let's just say you made an entry right here. Boom. Say you caught this entry right here. And let's just say you set your stop loss. So you set your stop loss right here. Based on the stochastic, let's say you made an entry right here. Right here. So that would be like right here. You take a buy. You got your stop loss set. Really, I would have set my stop loss like right here after this wick. I'm not even playing with this market. I'm setting my stop loss right here. And I don't care if I got to lower my lot size and make less. As long as I made the entry correct, I'm not worrying about the pullback. And if you make an entry and you don't get no pullback, and you starting to see that trend building without the pullback, 9 times out of 10, you're in a great trade. You know, you're in a great trade. So look, Look at this stochastic right here. Now look at this dotted line that I'm lining up with. Let's say you made a trade right here at the bottom. So now you got your stop loss right here below this wick. And look at this good movement. Look at this. This is a great day. This is an amazing day you would have right here. That is an amazing day. Let me open the screen up a little bit. This is an amazing day. And look how the stochastic rides all the way up. Man, enjoy the breakdown. Lock in with the information. Remember what I told you about the MACD. We have green on the MACD that represents buyers, and we have the white that represents sellers stepping in amongst buyer momentum. And the red represents sellers, and the white on the red represents buyers stepping in against seller momentum. It's not that complicated, man. Stochastic is a great way to make entries at this point right here. Sales at this point right here. When the stochastic lines are on top, you only look for sales. Let me break this down one more time. I don't think y'all hear me, man. I don't think y'all. I think that I'm making it so easy for y'all. Y'all. I don't really think y'all believe in this shit, man. I don't really think y'all really believe that what I'm telling you is true. Now, some of you do, and some of you already know about this, but a lot of you are like, nah, it can't be this easy. But it is that easy. So I'm breaking it down for you one more last time so I can make sure you get it. In this area out here, in this top area, you only want to look for sales. In this bottom area, you only want to look for buys, okay? And if you can, try to avoid taking trades in the middle. If you can, try to avoid it. You can still get some money from it, but try to avoid it. You want to catch it when it's outer space going back into Earth, okay? And the last part, let me show one more time with the MACD. Green on the MACD represents buyer momentum, and white on the MACD represents seller momentum stepping in. Green, buyer momentum, white, seller momentum. So here